Hey my friends, how's it going? It's Ultimus, and today I have a couple matches from some 2v2s we were doing the other night. Yet again, I found a decent resto shaman using the group finder. So we decided to queue a few games. They mentioned they were slightly undergeared and a little out of practice, but they were willing to accept anybody, even new players. So I said, hey, I can't get turned down, right? And got some experience. So we queued a few games, had some losses, had some wins, but got a couple matches here that I thought were really well played and worth sharing. Now, in this first game here, again, we are up against the Affliction Lock and Resto Druid combo, so I'm kind of tired of waiting around, so I'm just going to go in and go for it, since I'm really not going to get opened up too hard here, since with the Warlock, it's definitely a slow vamp for a pressure build. Necessarily, you're not going to go, ham with all, cooldowns blazing, because you need a chance to get those dots up. My big opener here for anything like this, usually in 2v2s, is I like to fear right off the bat. Whether it's specifically rogues, I should say, and stealthies, but in general, I just tend to like to fear right off the bat to try to force as much cooldowns as possible, because most people will trinket the fear or they'll pop some sort of cooldown. Getting in a little bit of trouble here, so I'm healing myself up with Enrage Regen. And since the Druid and the Warlock were stacked up there, I decided to go for the Blade Storm just for the heck of it. I'm trying to keep my focus set on the Druid, but it keeps swapping over to the Lock. I need to rearrange my keybinds for that one because this is just not working out for me. Going cooldowns right now, though, just trying to lay into that Lock, put as much pressure out as I can with my Shaman throwing hexes out. The Druid does manage to get out of that and pop tree, so the Warlock is not going to die quite yet, which is fine by me because it got tree form out already, so trading cooldowns for cooldowns isn't a bad thing for sure. But still just trying to sit on the Druid, sit on the Druid, sit on the Druid, and keep my stuns for, sit on the Warlock I should say, I don't know why I'm saying Druid, keep my stuns for the Druid. I just don't want the Lock free casting into my Shaman. Shamans are already so squishy and comp dependent as it is, and dependent on peels, that I just don't want that Lock free casting into my Shaman if I can help it. And as you can see, my Shaman dips really low here. So I pop that Rallying Cry hoping to save her, and it does seem to do the trick. The Shaman definitely has the heals under wraps, and the pressure isn't so bad because she's not getting sat on by a melee or two, so that does help out a little bit, but locks are no joke, that much is for certain. Especially the longer the game goes on, the more chances they have of winning. So I decided to chop that Stormbelt over there on top of the Hex to try to land that, and this Warlock is taking a ton of damage, getting off just a ton of life drains there, trying to trinket out because I don't want to sit any CC longer than necessary. I don't want to miss this opportunity for some pressure. Trying to keep the Warlock away from his Druid as best as possible. He ports over here. I'm not even going to waste time. Go for the leap to the charge, getting caught in CC, getting really pissed off at this point. But we're able to land the kill here real quick like, and then down goes the Warlock. The big mistake that Warlock made right there is he almost line of sighted his healer for too long. If the Druid wasn't able to get back on top of them, that game would have ended a lot sooner, that's for sure. In the second match, ironically enough, we are going up against the same exact team. So, my thoughts on this were, while we've proven that we can beat them, so we know we can beat them, they're going to be pretty pissed off, and they might be revamping their strategy, so I'm just encouraging my Shaman here to play smart. This time around, just going in for the charge, just getting in there, don't want to get that gate off. I feel like rarely as a warrior can I stop the gates because I feel like my range is just a little short so often as opposed to my Death Knight. I feel like I can stop gates all day on my Death Knight, but my warrior I just struggle. So I was pretty happy to be able to stop that gate that time. For whatever reason, they're sitting pretty close to each other this time, and I feel like it's probably because that last match the Warlock did keep line of sighting the Druid, and so you can see that they're trying to address that issue for sure. Warlock is definitely playing a lot more aggressive here. I feel like I took a lot more damage this game than I did the previous game, and they're just trying to CC my Shaman like nobody's business. That's really the only way they're going to beat us, is if they CC that Shaman. This time around I decided to stun the Warlock. Didn't really see a need to stun the Druid at the time being right there. Trying to get really good at and making sure I'm stopping those haunts and unstable afflictions. That's the big thing. Fears as well, but if I can stop those haunts, that's going to be a big deal to me, I find, in 2v2s. Especially, again, because my Druid is so... my Shaman is so squishy. Man, I got to get my classes straight over here. But definitely, this Warlock has definitely switched it up and is playing a lot more aggressively. You can tell they're sticking closer together, as we said before. Threw the Stormbolt over onto the Druid there. Since my Shaman was CC'd, figured why not. Just get a little DPS duel there going on. Trying to time my spell reflex in this match is hard. Simply because I don't really know what to reflect. And the biggest mistake I can say I made these matches was not taking mass spell reflect. Decided to charge over there and get a fear off on the Druid, see if he'll sit in it for a little bit. Over back to dealing with the Warlock. Still keeping an eye on my Shaman. My Shaman obviously at this point is at full health, so it's not too big of an issue, but I don't want to let her get too far out of my sight or let her dip too low to where now all of a sudden we're in a panic mode. Feeling really good about this situation right now, still sitting at 60-something% health there. My healer's at 100%, and this Warlock is getting really low. And with that big old dirty execute there at the end, pretty awesome ending to a pretty great match. Really happy with how we both played these matches, considering some of the other ones we had were pretty rough. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.